ဒီကဒီလက်သမားကြီးပညာခေါ်တဲ့မြတ်ခင်၈ပါးအကျင့်တရားနဲ့ကိလေသာအဆူရှိတတ်ပြီးကင်းပုံဒါတော့အကုသိုလ်ကံနေလည်းပဲစိတ်သုံးပါဖို့ပြောပါတယ်ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါအဲဒီအကုသိုလ်ကံကြီးဟာကုသိုလ်ရဲ့ဆန့်ကျင်တဲ့တရားတွေပါပါဠိလိုတော့ပฏิပက္ခလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်ဒီဘက်ကဆန့်ကျင်တဲ့ဆန့်ကျင်တဲ့တရားတွေဆိုတော့ဘယ်လိုဆန့်ကျင်မဲ့ဖြစ်တယ်လဲဆိုတဲ့အချက်ကလေးတွေတော့ပြောပြီးရှင်းပြဖို့လိုပါလိမ့်မယ်
Sadhu says, yesterday he has explained about the Eight Noble Path in which there are three parts: moral conduct, concentration, and wisdom. When the yogis possess these three groups of qualities and they apply in their practice, gradually, when they really could follow these three groups of mental powers as the Eight Noble Path, they can easily drive up the sap of defilements through which they can cut off the round of existence moment after moment. And those Dhamma groups are the opposite aspects of the unwholesome states of mind. Sadhu today would like to explain how they are opposed to the unwholesome aspects. Sadhu would like to try to make you understand about those two groups of opposite Dhamma parties.
အဲဒီပฏิပက္ခအဖြစ်ကိုဘယ်လိုလုပ်သိရပါလဲဆိုတာပေါ့ဒီချက်လေးတွေလည်းပဲလိုပါလိမ့်မယ်
Sadhu says those wholesome states of mind and unwholesome states of minds, how they are opposed each other, it is also necessary to understand.
ပฏิပက္ခဆန့်ကျင်ဘက်ဆိုရမှာအကုသိုလ်ကကုသိုလ်ကိုပယ်တတ်တယ်လို့ပฏิပက္ခလို့ဆိုရသလားသို့မဟုတ်အကုသိုလ်နဲ့ကုသိုလ်အချင်းချင်းနိုင်ရာစားအနေနဲ့ပေါ့ပယ်တတ်တယ်လို့ပฏิပက္ခဆိုရလားဆိုတာပေါ့အဲ့ဒါလေးကိုစဉ်းစားကြည့်ရဖြစ်နေတယ်
It is quite important to understand how the wholesomeness and unwholesomeness opposes each other. Whether the unwholesomeness can drive away the wholesomeness, or the unwholesomeness can kill the wholesomeness. That's why they are opposed each other. Or they are there to try to suppress each other whenever they will get strength between them. Who has fitness, it tries to suppress the other, or what kind of opposition nature they have.
Change Lekana Afian Kudune Aguduru Sanya Kuduga Lavadoga Sashi Nasari Kene Tanchina Kauju Peter Leknashi Aguduga Lavadoga Moasai Klidari Nasari Makin Kauju Peter. Every change Lekana Afian Sunny the chip. Each of the chip.
Characteristically, both of them are opposite. As the wholesomeness, there isn't any wholesome roots, such as great hatred and delusion, and the wholesomeness is there to bring the wholesome fruit, wholesome result. But on the other side, the unwholesomeness possesses all those unwholesome roots, such as greed, hatred and delusion. When unwholesomeness brings result, there will be unwholesome result. So therefore, they are opposed each other in characters. They have different characters.
Yeah, good idea. A better can hear a mulu. Aguduga good net, sunny bit of Washiva. A junction of Banga.
Wholesomeness and unwholesomeness are opposite because the unwholesomeness is to be killed by the wholesomeness.
A young chair, good I would change Petibeka Chico. Dear Valley. Good I would do that. Bear nine at Petibeka Sunny appear them. Hope who's I worry. We do that now.
As just now Sayadaw has stated, those two causes, how they are opposed each other, but we shouldn't think that unwholesomeness can kill the wholesomeness. That is why they are opposing. But instead of having that power in unwholesomeness, the wholesomeness has got the power to kill the unwholesomeness. So therefore, they are opposed in such a way. That means unwholesomeness hasn't got any power to destroy the wholesomeness.
Yeah, every example is Agudoga, Kudogo, Mapena, Usa, Chinchatoba.
So in this way it is clear that unwholesomeness never destroy the wholesomeness. Only the wholesomeness can totally destroy the unwholesomeness.
Agudoga Apegan, Kudoga, Peda de the water. Elegani, the Kudo Chibida, Baba, Luna Masaya Venerable, Tinto and Nina, the Kudu for Malufane. Apegan, Agudo, Peda de Kuduga, Elegani, Penny the last ceremony. For you to sing that Yabba. The change I was seeing Kuduni Agudo. Agu Kuduga, Agudo, a little Nailali male, Dilo Tiana, Edward Mahopabu.
Then how the wholesomeness is there to destroy the power of unwholesomeness? Do we need to do anything to develop the wholesomeness, or just we stay and one day there will become the chance that unwholesomeness is to be totally destroyed? So we don't need to do anything. Just keep your hand on your lap and stay without acting anything. Could that be possible to destroy the unwholesomeness? Or can the wholesomeness stay inactive to destroy the unwholesomeness, waiting for the opportunity to come?
The Goshi, a Kuini level, a Agudu, and I made a lot. On work handling you never seen that Shiva.
Sadhguru says, and again we need to think, just try to wait. There will be the Supreme Being to come to give the help to destroy the unwholesomeness. Just wait to gain the power from the super being. Whether we should wait for that.
Lunia Nabatayama Ayanga Ninyani Mesuya. Though we are saying you are good at Adani Mesushi. Any time you book and a year about it. Came back book and then you see I gave me a madi, who are Amia looking, teaching people about it. There are two of who are Amia Lucy and never who are two that poor movie or Amia or the Totaka Amia on Nilan body. TV so she out Nishi and Yard, choose I about it. Dama, Puma, Ali, Pila, Legion, the Yavido. Came back to America.
What do you call that Japanese fighting? Two person each other? Wrestling. When there are two persons who have same strength and same ability, and both of them are trying to wrestle each other, how they should try to gain winning point. If they have same strength and same skill, what they need to do each other to win, to get the winning point. Just having equalness couldn't work to gain the winning point in wrestling. the Sayadaw says, one of them should try to develop his strength more than the other person, opposite person, and he should try to gain more skill than the opposite person. Then only it would be possible to win the wrestling.
The Telonu Walu Tatania Lunga New Mabjate to it. Near came your father, Abu Nay, Yama, and then Yama. Yeah, Kuduga Amia or Loki. Take you about it. Amia de Kuduga, and Yamabia, Anudia, Nene. Came be like Pala, Ilita, Yuri, Abutu, Yuri, Petan and yes, the Bob of
there are latent or dormant defilements which are dwelling hidden in our life, not just only in this present life, but they are following, or they were following life after life, beginning from the uncountable, innumerable previous lives. To fight with such strong, subtle, smooth defilement, it is not easy to just simple type of wholesome activities which you develop just for the moment. You need to increase the strength of wholesomeness with severe exercise. Without having such diligent, severe exercise to possess strongest wholesome natures or wholesomenesses in your mind, those dormant defilements couldn't be destroyed. So therefore Sayadaw says it is necessary to have really forceful powers well developed in your life with non-stop effort. That only could give the strength to destroy the power of dormant defilement or the latent defilement.
New again and a Yamabia came what be of Pala, Kilita, Taki, Bahana, Tong Unit, Petan, Bahana, Tong Yusra, the Tenga Bahana, we come in a Bahana, Smoky, that Bahana,
the defilements which are acting as the germinating seeds in our life, those defilements could be destroyed with three ways. Overcoming by the opposite, overcoming by the suppression, and overcoming by the total eradication. or total destruction. With these three ways, only those defilements could easily be destroyed.
Edi pahana 3 မျိုးပေရှားတဲ့ဤ3မျိုးပေါ့ပေရှားနိုင်စွမ်းတတ္တိပေါ့ပေရှားနိုင်စွမ်းတတ္တိတွေဘယ်သူကဖန်ပြီးပြုလုပ်ပေးတယ်လို့ဆိုတော့ပယောဂကပြုလုပ်ပေးပါတယ်လှုပ်ဆောင်ချက်ပေါ့အဲဒီပယောဂဆိုတာလည်းပဲသီလသမာဓိပညာရဲ့လို့3မျိုးရှိပါတယ်သီလသမာဓိပညာဒီပူတော့ပယောဂ3မျိုးနဲ့ပယ်စွမ်းနိုင်စွမ်းပေါ့ပယ်ဖို့ရန်စွမ်းနိုင်ချက်စွမ်းအားတွေပေါ့ပဟာနာ3မျိုးအားကောင်းလို့ပြရပါတယ်
Sayadaw says to have those 3 types of overcoming powers from where you will get the strength. Is there anyone to give the strength to you? Sayadaw says no. There is necessary to have, it is called in Pali payogas, that means very active act. Where to have those types of active act in performing moral conduct, in developing strong concentration and strengthening the wisdom. With those active forces of acts, then those 3 overcomings will become forceful, powerful, and strong.
May I just have should I ma Ila making the money making Pinya making father making shipa in an reservation and making shipa upon as soon as reservation Ila the money pinya is only your should I ma every family every yoga whom you have yoga and a father no you have yoga and a father as soon as she sick in the yoga and a father yoga told me so
Sayadaw says, yesterday he has already explained how we can follow the 8 Noble Path as the 3 groups of mental forces: morality group, concentration group, and wisdom group. They are following in each and every noting of your practice. Whenever there will be object, you are energetically trying to get the object without missing it when it arises at the same time, at the same moment. simultaneously those forces fall onto the object, and you will get that object clearly, precisely, with understandable ability. When you are following those 8 noble paths in each and every moment, those 3 groups of mental factors are also following together. And that active act is called the prayogas. They involve there as physical action, verbal action, specially or specifically as the mental action. Through those forceful active acts, you will be enabled to overcome those forceful defilements. Therefore, Sayadaw says he has already explained how those 3 types of active acts or active processes are there in your practice. You might understand this statement comparing with your own practice.
ကိုမူပြီးတော့တင်ရှားအောင်လို့စာရွက်ကိုလက်တွေ့နဲ့ပေါင်းစပ်ပြီးတော့ရှင်းပြပါဦးမယ်
Sayadaw says to make it more clear and obvious, he will try to explain it textually as well as practically.
ဒီလမဲ့ခင်3ရက်တွေကသမ္မာဝါကြဒီလမဲ့ခင်နဲ့မိစ္ဆာဝါကြအကုသိုလ်ကိုပြောတယ်မမကန်ကန်ပြောနေလို့ရှိရင်မမကန်ပြောမှုခေါ်တဲ့အကုသိုလ်ကိုဒါတည်ရင်ကပြောလိုက်တာပဲယတ္တိစကားပြောမှုကိုမိတ်ဆွေကြီးချစ်ကြည်ရေးစကားပြောလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်ခုနယတ္တိမှုခေါ်တဲ့အကုသိုလ်ကိုပယ်ချလိုက်တာပဲတည်ရင်ကအနေနဲ့ဒါတော့တန်တန်ဆဲရေးတိုင်းပါပြီးတော့မရင်မကြေးပြောဆိုအကုသိုလ်ကိုဣတ္တရှိထားကုဏရှိထားပြီးတော့ချူတာတာပြောဆိုမှုသမ္မာဝါကြနဲ့တမပယ်ချလိုက်တာပဲအနေနဲ့ပင်ဖြစ်တဲ့စကားတွေပြောဆိုမှုအကုသိုလ်ကိုအကျိုးရှိတဲ့မိမိတို့ကအကျိုးရှိတဲ့စကားတွေပြောဆိုခြင်းဖြင့်ဒီမှာတည်ငါအနည်းအားဖြင့်ပြောဆိုတဲ့အခိုက်အတန့်မှာပါဒီငါအနည်းအားဖြင့်ချိန်ပိုင်းကိုပယ်ချလိုက်ဒါလည်းပယ်ချပါဒါတည်ငါပါဟနာခေါ်တယ်အဲ့ဒီတည်ငါပါဟနာဟာအမှန်ကန်ကန်ပြောမှုကြည်ကြည်စကားပြောမှုချိုးသားရင်ကြီးစွာပြောမှုပြီးတော့အကျိုးရှိတဲ့စကားပြောမှုသမဝါစာမောင်တိလမဲ့ကင်ကဖြစ်ပေါ်စေတဲ့ခါလေးအဲ့ဒီသမဝါစာတိလမဲ့ကင်နဲ့မိစ္ဆာဝါစာအကုသိုလ်တွေဒီကပြောလိုက်တာ
Sayadaw says, let us try to take the right speech. How the right speech overcomes and destroys the wrong speech. When you are speaking truth, avoiding falsehood, during that moment there couldn't arise false speech. Speaking truth is right speech. With that truthful speech, you are momentarily destroying the wrong speech as the falsehood. And that is called overcoming by opposite. When you are speaking peaceful way, soft way, polite way, friendly way, civilized way, that is another right speech you are using. And during that speaking moment, there couldn't arise that piercing speech, heart-rending speech, rough speech. So you are overcoming that rough speech as the wrong speech through the right speech. And while you are trying to speak, to give friendly feeling to others, to have unity among others, to have friendliness among others, harmony among others, without having any division in your speech, to break the friendship of others. You are speaking right speech, and you are overcoming by opposite the backbiting speech. And while you are speaking fruitful speech, welfare speech, beneficial speech, at that time you are overcoming that useless speech, frivolous speech, unbeneficial speech as the wrong speech. So in this way, while you are speaking with these four types of right speeches, you are avoiding and overcoming and destroying those four types of unwholesome wrong speeches momentarily. Therefore, you have the overcoming power by opposite to those unwholesome wrong speeches.
အဲ့ဒီသမဝါကြလေးမျိုးကိုသာနှုတ်မှုတယောဂလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီနှုတ်မှုတယောဂဖြင့်ခုနမိစ္ဆာဝါကြလေးမျိုးကိုဒါလည်းဒီမှာပယ်တတ်လိုက်တဲ့အခါကျတော့တရင်ကအနေနဲ့ပယ်တတ်လိုက်တဲ့အခါကျတော့ထူးမြတ်တဲ့ကုသိုလ်တွေမှာပေါ်ထွက်လာတယ်ဝจีပယောဂနဲ့ဒီပယောဂနဲ့ဒီမှာဖြစ်ပွားနေတဲ့ကုသိုလ်ပေါ်ထွက်လာတယ်ဒါကြောင့်အဲ့ဒီကုသိုလ်ကိုပယောဂနိဗ္ဗာတိတာလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်
Sayadaw says, in this way, when you are enabled to actively act using right speeches to destroy the wrong speeches, you have the active act of speech or verbal act in your hand. So it is called Vachi Prayoga, the active act of speech. As the right speech. So you have got the power to destroy and give up totally by opposite and momentarily. So you are winning those wrong speeches because of active act of speech. When you are free from those unwholesome speeches, wholesomeness is springing in your mind. Therefore, that wholesomeness is called Prayoga Nippadika, Nippadita, accomplished by the active act as the speech. Vachi Prayoga Nippadita also you might use.
Material no ubiyu material man de bi do shawsha.တရားတဲ့နှုတ်အပြုကိုတန်ရှင်းတဲ့နှုတ်အပြုကိုဆောက်ပွားတဲ့အလေးအထပြောကလုပ်ပါများတဲ့ခါကျတော့ဒီကအားရှိလာတယ်အားရည်လာတယ်အဲလိုအားပြလာတဲ့အခါမှာလွယ်လွယ်လေးပဲခန္ဓာကိုကြည်တူးကျက်တိကျတိတအာဟုလိုတရားကိုဒီငါအနေနဲ့ပြေချလိုက်တော့အားရှိမှကုသိုလ်ကအားရှိမှအာဟုလိုပယ်နိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လူတယောက်အားပြိုင်နေလို့ရှိရင်အားရှိအောင်လုပ်ရတယ်သူ့နေလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဓမ္မဒီပြောကအားရှိအောင်လုပ်လို့ရှိရင်လည်းရတာပဲအဲဒီလိုအလေးအထားလုပ်ပြီးလို့သူ့နိုင်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘယ်လိုရှိရင်အခုလိုလေးတယ်အခုဆွမ်းအားကိုပဲကိုဆွမ်းရတဲ့ကိုထုတ်ပြီးတော့လုပ်တာခုရတရားတော်ကအဲ့ဒီကိုဆွမ်းရတဲ့ကိုလုပ်တာဒီညအားကိုပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ယုံလို့ပုံပြီးတော့ဒီလိုတရားအကျိုးချပေးနေတယ်ဆိုရင်ဒီကျင့်လို့ရတာမဟုတ်ပါဘူး
Father says, when you possess that active act in your speech, then it will be very easy for you to overcome those unlawful speeches and develop the lawful speeches. And those lawful speeches should be developed again and again, seeing the good result of them, seeing the benefit consequence of them. As much as you develop them, so much your strength to speak right speech will be strengthened. As Sayadaw has stated before, when two persons is wrestling, to win the opposite person, one should have more strength, more skill, and more ability. In the same way, while you are fighting with the unwholesome, unlawful things, you need to possess strongest power in lawful, wholesome aspects. And that could be developed with continuous experience or continuous exercise. So the Sayadaw says you need to have proper strength as the wholesomeness to destroy the power of unwholesomeness, to be lawful being.
Kadajita Agudu Tomyogu Leve Kujeza Dia Tavido Jinamu Shishubi Nijata Chabuga Shamjin Ali Ida Dubai BC Media Duga Shamjin Ali Ida Matia at the move, Miati at the move, Shamjin Ali Mita Sarahu Ujema Shamjin Ali A county called Q Moody body. Area Shamjin Ali Tali body. Putashim Moody body. The yoga, the body, yoga, Kaya yoga. Kaya yoga is she. Micha Kamandas, Agu. Speciality, away. There is Akon. Kuduga, Akon Achila is Lucy, Lolina, Namicha Kamada, Pesha and the later. Era leve Yoga Ni Padita cover. A young lady, Kaya Yoga Ni Padita to do this.
Sayadaw says, when you will have proper exercise and experience, and you develop sound strength and ability within you, you can easily drive or you can easily destroy and you can easily overcome unwholesome states. In such moment, you don't need to try to pray to anybody to help you, to support you, to aid you. Oh mighty, let me have a great strength to overcome the defilement. You don't need to wait for others to help you. You will have confidence within you, and you are the person who is trying to overcome those defilements, and you are the person who is developing the strength of wholesomeness. If you yourself could drive forcefully to possess such strength, at the time you don't need to pray to anybody, you don't need to seek help from anybody, and you don't need to ask to someone to help to you in this way. So the active act of speech, right speech, could overcome the unwholesome, unlawful speeches. In the same way, if you have oneness feeling with others in your mind, and you want to give benefit to others, you want to seek welfare for others, then